All right, welcome back to ELH 4x4 doing stuff. Part 3 of the Silverado inner and outer rockers. What we got going on today is a lot of rust repair, a lot of holes, and some spot welds. So come on along. Oh, I also forgot to mention grinding, cutting, shaping, sizing, and some more grinding. So let's get ready. All right, we got some scrap metal that we can kind of put in place here. So we'll get some of this stuff cut out after we get the shape that we need. All right, so a little side note here. Yesterday I was, tripping over cables or, the extension cords and air hoses and, kind of looking for materials and stuff. So today I got the stuff routed underneath the vehicle to give myself a nice clear path. I'll be grinding, so I got some grinding discs close by. I'm going to be using the notcher. Let me go get that. The notcher, punch, flange, whatever that, the flange. Some sanding, so we got some discs on standby, and I got that stuff all on my little seat right here. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Maybe do some cable and hose management and give yourself a nice clear area to work at. So we're going to knock down some of the burrs on a lot of the stuff that we cut, get rid of sharp edges, and then clean up the surfaces that we're going to be plug welding. But I'm going to fabricate a replacement part for this support rocker, inner rocker arm support. So, all right, good talk. All right, we got our somewhat flat piece of metal. One side of it has a little bit of corrosion on it, so we can use this side. So now all we got to do is kind of line that up and draw the shape. Cut it out. All right, where are we at here? Okay. We can refine that, but I'm going to roll with that. I'm going to cut that out, kind of line it up, and then we'll remove some of the existing support. right, we got our replacement part set up. Put 2 holes in there so we can plug weld it to the existing bracket or the support, and then we'll just butt weld and plug weld down at the bottom and see how that looks. I'm going to do that off camera because it's embarrassing. All right, well, we got the replacement part put in. There, I was blowing through because of the rust, but you know, it's in there. It's going to give the inner support something to bite onto. So I guess I could, no, I'm done. Anyway, the plug welds I'm really happy with those, so I'm looking forward to doing the plug welds, as crazy as that sounds. So now we're going to get the inner rocker lined up, trimmed down to, you know, the size we need it. We also got to do some dolly work over here on this lip to get that somewhat straight, but we're going to start working on the inner. All right, we got the ends cut off. Okay. Nope. Show you what's going on here. Right here, we got this thing hanging down, so we gotta get that taken care of. And I also need to hit this surface with, you know, I gotta clean it up. So that's what we're gonna do. And then maybe I can cut some of this stuff off, you know, on both ends, you know, and down there too, right there. So, all right, I'm going to clean this up and we'll come back. All right, we did some trimming, used some reference marks. Now we got our panel. You know, I'm going to overlap this part, maybe trim this part back, but I'm going to overlap the front. And then all we got to do is just punch a bunch of holes. So I'll probably trim this one, but I'll leave the front. If I could move you around. I'll try to move you around. I'll try to, well, I am moving you around. So anyway, let's see if you can see what's going on here. Okay, we got this area right here, so I'll probably overlap this spot right here. Who knows? All right, so all we got to do is just go along the top, and you know, we're going to prep the bottom because the outer rocker is going to be welded to that. So we're just going to punch some holes, knock off this E-coat, and then start plug welding. We got to drill holes, manually drill holes for the rocker supports, because the throat on this tool isn't long enough. But we'll just start, you know, zipping these holes out, and then I'll get underneath, mark where these flanges are for the supports, and then drill the holes there. So I'll see you when we get that done. I got my backside marked here. So we'll just drill some holes about a 1/2 inch off of the edge. And then we'll be able to knock the E-coating off and weld it up. That hole punch that's the way to go. That didn't take any time. I need to find out where that one is. All right, that should do it. All right, now we got to drill. Clamps. You should have clamps. Now I'm sure there's all kinds of spray, what is it, weld through primer and all these other coatings and stuff like that. Well, I don't have that stuff. I mean, I could go out and get it. All right, I guess we'll start with this area right here with the spot welding. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, it's in. It looks bad, but it'll be hidden. We'll knock off the big blobs and then primer the rest. But you can hit that. I would say next time I think these are galvanized coated. Maybe not, but definitely prepped the metal a lot better. A lot better than what I did. All right, now's the time where we start prepping the outer. You know, start cutting off the excess material that we don't need. And get it lined up. So I'm going to start grinding, and yeah, we'll get it figured out. Another thing I failed to mention is getting the body line right, making sure we have a good door gap at the bottom, so we're not going to go start welding everything together without fitting the doors on and seeing if everything lines up. That is all. All right, now it's just continuously sizing. All right, there's a little bit of fitment issues back here, but I'm not really worried about that because that's going to be hidden. As long as my door seam is lining up, and of course the bottom catch for the back doors, but this is off by just a little bit, it's going to be hidden by the cab corner. So I just continue to grind away, and that's all I'm going to be doing. So once I get the fitment ready, I'll get you back on camera. All right, so I think we have to come down a little bit over here. We got a nice gap, but I got the piece of metal that I cut out that I can add on later. It's just really not fitting to swell, so that has to come out. We got to trim off a little bit up front here. This has to come out some, so we got to take a little bit more off on this side, and then where are we looking? A little bit off over here. This has to come down some, so we're getting there, slowly but slowly. All right, so far this is what we got. A little bit of gappage right here, but we can add some material. And then same with here. I think this needs to bend out some, right? And then we can add a little bit of material there. But what I want to do is make sure this is in the right length. So I'm going to hang the rear door and see if that functions properly. Well, we got a nice tight. It gets a little bit closer. So I think, nah, it's going to have to come down. It's just gonna have to come down just a little bit. That's the gap we got. But the door shuts nice. It functions properly. All right, so we got to drop the backside down. And the front's looking good. All right. So after much grinding and hammering and welding and grinding, not bad. This came out a lot better than I thought. So I'm going to have to hammer this out. And so that's not too bad. I'm going to make some reference marks. I'm going to hang the door again. I'm going to hang the door first and then make some reference marks. And then I'm going to punch holes and plug weld. All right, so I got to trim just a little bit more. That way, for when I added this, it readjusted everything, so this is a little bit low and it could come up some. You could see the amount of original pinch weld there is, so this has to come up just a little bit. This is a little bit low anyway, but it can come up about 1/4 inch. So I just really need to trim the stuff underneath the cab corner and it'll be fine. So I can't really take too much more out of here, right? We don't want to start that nonsense over again. But one more quick buzz, and then we should be able to start punching holes and plug welding. Well, the body line's a little bit wide over here. Yeah, just like it is over there. Okay. And then tapers off and gets close back there. So, all right. Man, I tell you what, that was a lot of trimming, sanding, welding, trimming, sanding, all that stuff. So, all right, I'm going to pop these doors off and we're going to start plug welding. That closes good. Yeah, that's nice. All right, we got a little filler thing going on here, just because the gap was a little bit wide. So we're going to get that welded in, and then we're going to plug weld. It's kind of getting late, so I don't feel like being out here when it's dark doing this stuff. So I'm just going to breeze right through this, and then we'll see what we got. All right, this is a good stopping point. Let's not look at that, right? That's why we have grinders and paint. But that's on there. So we still got to plug weld underneath, but you know, these rockers are on. So yeah, thanks for watching ELH 4x4 doing stuff, rocker repair, and we'll see you at the next one.